Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I get to share with you a project for Spellbinders using the Stamp of the Month Club Kit for October 2019. This is what it looks like. Yours will come in a package, of course, but it has a beautiful dove and a star, 2 flourishes, sentiments that say Christmas blessings, peace on earth, joy to the world, and then a few elements that you can create fun backgrounds with also. So we're going to jump in and get started. We're going to stamp the beautiful dove. So pretty. I'm going to take some Neenah 80-pound cardstock and stamp with Memento Tuxedo Black ink and red rubber stamps so beautifully. We're just going to stamp it. All it takes is once. So I'm just using an acrylic block. Isn't that so pretty? It has some flowers on that dove, which is just gorgeous. Okay, there's 2 flourishes. Little branches with berries on it. I'm going to stamp both of them. We'll stamp one here and then we'll stamp the other one. Once these images are done, we're going to do some coloring with Copic markers. There is one small flourish in the stamp set, and mine didn't come with a cover sheet, so I didn't know what it looked like. So I'm going to stamp that just to show you what it looked like. And it was so pretty, but it didn't go with my scene, so I'm not going to use that top flourish. But I'm going to play a little bit of music while I color, and then when I'm done coloring, I will get you back. Okay, coloring was easy peasy, predominantly white image, so it was just doing a little shading. I did accent with some red berries and then colored in the heart or the flowers on my little dove here with the reds also. I fussy cut them out, and I'm not sure if there's coordinating dies this month for the Stamp of the Month Club. If I can find it, I'll link it down below, guys. Okay, we're going to create a mask on our card base. This is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch card base. I just squared it off. We're gonna make a square card today. I don't mind making 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 cards because they fit in my A2 envelopes. So once my mask is adhered to the very front, I'm going to take one of the little background images. This one has the diamonds, the other one has a snowflake print, and I'm going to fill in my circle on the inside of my mask here. I'm using VersaFine or Versamark ink here. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing because it's a clear ink. Even for me, because it's clear, I have to tilt my paper just a little bit to make sure I have all the area inside that circle covered. We'll stamp one more here, and then I'm going to go over this with my white embossing powder. Just cover our panel and then tap the excess off. Using the heat gun, we'll go ahead and melt it. And I think that's going to work out great. Now I'm going to bring in some Distress Oxide inks to color in my background. Now originally I wanted to use tumbled glass. I think that would have been a perfect color, but I ended up opting for worn lipstick. My blending brush had, I think it was a vintage photo on it, and I tried to wipe it off, but it turned my pink brown. And I didn't want a brown background, I wanted more pink. So here's where I'm going to bring in my worn lipstick, just shading in my background, and my stamped area is going to resist the ink. So I'm going to have a nice white print. Actually, it's pink right now. I have to actually buff it off to bring it back to a white. But you can see it's not worn lipstick, it's more like a corally color. So I just went with it. In fact, I'll bring in a little more red. I'm bringing in some candied apple and going around the edges of my circle, darkening those up. And I think the colors with my white dove is just going to be pretty. I'm just taking a towel and buffing off the ink from my embossed area. I'm going to add some water using my spray bottle, and then using a towel we'll dab off all the excess, and I think that looks wonderful. Okay, now we're just going to remove our mask, and when I removed it, I realized when I cut my mask, I didn't cut it to a 4 1/4 inch by 4 1/4 inch, so you can see distress ink on the edges of it. So no worries, we're just going to trim down our panel here so it's slightly smaller than our 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 card base. I'm going to pop this up with some foam tape along with my bird. We'll just remove the release paper, add our panel to our card base. Lovely. Then we'll go ahead and add our dove. The name of this stamp set is called Joyous Bird. So pretty. And then I want the bird to be holding the greenery pieces. I'm going to layer them both together. So we'll just add thin strips of foam tape and do a little tucking underneath the little dove's beak. And I think that looks really pretty. Okay, for my sentiment, I just chose the word peace. Peace is in a real scripty font, and then there's a smaller sentiment that says on earth. So you could choose to stamp peace on earth or just peace, and I chose just peace. I'm going to stamp with my my VersaFine Onyx Black ink here. I stamped it on cardstock first because I wasn't sure it was going to fit. So I'm just double checking, and I think it's going to work out perfectly. And it stamps beautifully. And then for little bells and whistles, I'm going to bring in some clear sequins. We're going to add them around the inside of our Distress Oxide area. Add a little sparkle, subtle sparkle. And then I'm going to finish off the berries and then the flowers with my Journey Glaze. I've gotten questions about this bottle of Journey Glaze, and I'll link it down below, but it's so nice. Huge bottle too, but it works great. It's like a glossy accents. So that's my project for today. If you're interested in the Stamp of the Month Club kit, I'll leave links down below. Have a great day, guys. Thank you again for joining me. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.